Wait, give it to me. Description of the bottom. Give it to me. Open.
Right? And again, what led to this? What led to this was somebody posting something on Facebook with him talking about race and greed and stuff like that. Some interview. Then this Egypt thing, and then the American citizen, whatever. And then the reason the American citizen thing came to mind was because of at the end part. But also that when you look at they had a roast for Richard Pryor, and then there was like, you know, some European comics up there or whatever, you know what I mean? And you know, the European comics had the Asiatics, like, you know what I mean, busting out laughing, right? And you wonder how is it that in this jurisdiction where today they have this thing that, you know what I mean, these two races can't get along and it's never gonna happen and they shouldn't this and this one shouldn't, and you know what I mean? But really and truly, the Europeans and the Asiatics, once they get their stuff together, the whole world is gonna change if they get their stuff together. Like at the time of them having their stuff together and impacting the world towards, you know what I mean, unity, towards ending suffering, and you know what I mean, caring for children, and then you have like, you know, we are the world and stuff like that, and all these things that, you know, lead right back to the because remember, you know, following their timeline, all their stuff kicked off in 1913. So the parallel to that kicking off in 1913, the concept of, you know, love is the first principle, and learn to love instead of hate, and you know what I mean, dealing with yourself on a certain way so that people can deal with you according to how you're carrying yourself, right? Which is all going to lead to the end of this with the importance of recognizing who you are and where you stand in the grand scheme as far as everybody else on the planet. That if you get anxious, overzealous, and you have this mindset of knowing who you are, but you get caught up in the nigger stuff, things are going to start going that way. Because you're not supposed to be in that mindset once you get to a certain level, right? Which again is going to play out by the end of this thing. Because remember that he's playing the man who found the tomb. Not only did he find the tomb, but when they go inside, while these guys are taking sniffing salts or whatever to stay awake because of the difference in from outside the tomb to into the tomb, right? He's walking around looking at stuff like, oh, what's this?
He didn't need sniffing salts.
He didn't need nothing, right? And then he's walking around the spot like it's his spot, right? He wasn't acting them like he never seen this before, or what is this, right?
Another end.
This can't be, man. What? You know what this is?
What is it, Buddha?
It's the book of life. In the beginning, when man arrived on Earth, the black gods that leave their spacecraft, and they walked, and they named the beast of the sea and the animals of the land. And man in his blackness did walk to earth, making medicine, and discovered type. These were all black people got down. Wait a minute. I say, there ain't nothing there about white. This is our job. Wait till the brothers hear this. I'm gonna get this book out of here, baby. This is you mean, Jack? Look at this here. Black people discovered it, started the music and the brain surgery back in the year 3 BC.
then they lock his ass in the tomb.
Get the bulldozers.
They lock him in the tomb talking about, let's bulldoze this thing and get the hell out of here. Right? Now, when you look at it from the perspective of Negro, black, colored guy, those guys are racist guys. The black guy found the information about the history, they didn't let him get out with it or whatever like that. They locked him in there, whatever like that. Well, you know, the reality is they know that he's crazy. They know that he has mental problems, because if you're talking about Egypt 1909, ain't no black people.
Right.
In ancient times, prior to them going in that tomb and they're reading the stuff and they found the book of life, and then the book of life is talking about there's black people and all that, you already know that there's fabrication going on, right? Which the Europeans, who know that, you know, well, technically what he's saying is right. You know what I mean? Technically, you know, the black people are the founders of everything, right? But we're not even going to take the chance with them putting the connotative out. We're just going to lock him in the tomb. Even though he's saying black, we're going to lock him in there. If you would have said the Egyptians did something, bet you would have been able to get out with all the stuff and go tell the world about the impact that the people who look like us have had since the beginning of time or whatever, right? There was another one when he was at job interview or something like that, and then at the end of the interview, it was something like, actually this is the one that somebody posted on Facebook. It was something about, well, I'm gonna say a word and then tell me the word that's, you know what I mean? So, you know, is it dog, and then Richard Pryor say tree, right? And then they keep going back and forth or whatever. Then it started getting into racial terms or whatever, you know what I mean? So the last thing the European said was nigger. And then Richard Pryor's comment was dead honky, right? For calling him that. The opposite is that's what you're gonna get, right? So in the end, you know, European sweating or whatever like that, he's like, oh no, you know what I mean? How about, you know, okay, no problem, you got the job or whatever like that, you know what I mean? You know, we're gonna pay you 15,000. He's like, 15,000, you know, you got to up it or whatever. You tell me the nigger and stuff like that. Oh yeah, sorry about that. You know, okay, 20,000 a year or whatever like that. Okay, fine. We're gonna give you the maximum whatever that a janitor could make or whatever. And then how about, you know, take 2 months off? We'll see you in 2 months or whatever. But you got the job, right? Now, he only got that because he stood up for himself. He only got that because he didn't take the unconstitutional approach of, oh yeah, master, this and whatever like that, you know, and he told him straight that whatever you could do, I could match you, because I'm not the one, right? Getting our people to that mentality, that they realize that all that civil stuff that you're talking about, thinking that it's doing something, it's having no effect whatsoever, because even under de facto jurisdiction, Constitution is the supreme law of the land. And it's not the acts and the statutes and the ordinances, because all these people take an oath to constitutions, not ordinances and acts. Even with us, with the Constitution Act. And, you know, people just completely missing the fact that it says act. So then it can't be a constitution. There's no way that it could be a constitution if it's an act. You know what I mean? And it's not even like it says the act constitution. You know, like act is last. Letting you know that, again, corruption. And as soon as we recognize the corruption, no different than when CRA, you know, send anything to anybody about something. and then they just take it and then they just go pay. Opposed to question something on it. There has to be something that's weird on this for you to question. That you don't just go out and just CRA said, okay, let me just pay this. Has to be something to question. Because everything that they send is to try to get you to yield to their corporate authority, which the corporate authority only has jurisdiction when they're dealing in their corporate affairs. Outside of their corporate affairs is constitutional, universal law, divine law, natural law, all these other things, right? As we evolve in, studying the Constitution, making sure that when we're studying the Constitution, that we're not looking at it from the perspective of that's giving something to us or it's creating some rules or whatever for us. Constitution is there as a template for us to see how stuff's supposed to run. So we check that, payment of debts, gold and silver. Just like they said in the thing. Federal Reserve told U.S. if you guys paying debts or whatever like that, we need that in gold. Federal Reserve is holding U.S. corporation to their constitutional.
Right, but they're not constitutional.
Right, but they're not constitutional. They're telling them pay in gold. Oh, well, we don't have gold to pay. Okay, fine. Since you don't have gold, then, you know what I mean? Then you owe. Right? Oh, but no jail time, nothing like that. No suing them, no nothing like that. So all these other people out here who they can't pay because they don't have gold, they could use the same argument that Federal Reserve used why they can't pay. Or what U.S. used why they can't pay. They have no gold. Right? And which is the argument that they're supposed to be making to get those debts discharged, dissolved, or whatever. Right? But, in their case, they didn't dissolve. They just made the people the collateral, give them birth certificates or whatever. And made the collateral the payment for the debt. And then you have IRS and all these people who are the collectors. They even told you that whatever they collect, 3% that they collect is to even pay the board of directors. That's not even outside funds. Like the money that they're collecting, they're using to pay the board of directors. Forget the CEO and all these other people. Board of directors again. So that means everybody has to get their cut going down the line. And once it's like when they put out modern money mechanics, and then everybody, oh, that's not real, and that's not, the IRS put that out, or Federal Reserve put that out. That's not like, you know what I mean? Somebody else or an outsider or a whistleblower or whatever like that. That's them putting out that information and the public blowing it off. When that's explaining everything, all the fraud that they're doing today, everything's explained in that book, Modern Money Mechanics. Everything's in there. What they're doing right now, how they make money, how they make credit, how they make debt, how they make whatever, everything's in there. Right? So as much as the word is being put out, it's for Moors to start doing more to get the word out.